Good morning. Welcome to the channel. My name is Rosalinda. Today is August 18th, and we are going to be digging into Jeremiah 38 through 40, Psalm 74, and Psalm 79. Let's see what's the latest and greatest in the life and hard times of Jeremiah. I don't know about you, but I'm really happy that this is not the job that God called me to. Prophesying the same message that no one wants to hear. They hate him. It's a countercultural message that is falling on deaf ears. It feels pointless, but God's message doesn't change. That seems like a pretty difficult calling. Well, maybe some of you can relate a little bit. In chapter 38, we see some people who have finally gotten sick of Jeremiah's message. His message has been that if people want to live, they will surrender themselves to the Chaldeans who are holding them under siege outside their gates. Apparently, the army finds this message demoralizing, and they pretty much tell Zedekiah, the king, that they want to take care of Jeremiah. It's not lost on me that this might be a bit of irony, since Jeremiah was speaking earlier in the book about broken cisterns. They decide to throw him into a cistern. Now, this cistern doesn't happen to have any water because there's been a drought. They're running out of resources. They have nothing in it. So, at least Jeremiah doesn't drown, but he is stuck in the mud, and we don't know how long, which ultimately has a physical detriment on him. Not only is he starving, but his skin, after being exposed to the mud and the moisture, is probably going to deteriorate pretty quickly. Fortunately for Jeremiah, there is an Ethiopian eunuch in the court of King Zedekiah who appeals to the king to go rescue Jeremiah. And for whatever reason, because Zedekiah doesn't know his own mind, even though he allowed Jeremiah to be thrown in the cistern, he now allows this eunuch to go rescue him. I find it interesting that this eunuch's name is Ebed-Melech, which means servant of the king. He might have been renamed once he was taken into slavery to serve in the court, but I kind of like to think of it as he's actually the servant of the everlasting king. And in reward for Ebed-Melech's care of Jeremiah, God actually sends him a message through Jeremiah to say, I'm giving you your life as a treasure after the war. He rescues him and protects him through all the devastation that's going to happen. So Ebed-Melech gets permission to go rescue Jeremiah. He takes a lot of care to go pad Jeremiah's delicate skin with extra clothes so that the ropes don't pull off his skin as they're hoisting him out. I just love the care and attention and the fact that God notices all these details that happen and records them for us. After Jeremiah's rescue, Zedekiah, for some reason, decides to invite Jeremiah back for a secret meeting and ask for advice. I have to wonder if Jeremiah's human side rolls his eyes and says, why should I tell you? You won't listen anyways. So he repeats the same message to Zedekiah that he's been saying the whole time. Surrender. You will live, stay here in the city, and you'll die. I'll give you one guess what Zedekiah chooses. Yeah, he stays in the city, and once Nebuchadnezzar and Babylon's armies are coming and storming the walls, he and his sons run. They're captured. His sons are put to death in front of him. He is blinded and carted off in chains to Babylon. Nebuchadnezzar actually knows who Jeremiah is and gives him a choice. He says, you can come with us to Babylon and you'll be taken care of, or you can choose to stay here. It's the broken ruins and the wall-less city. And Jeremiah chooses to stay. Nebuchadnezzar appoints Gedaliah as a temporary governor of ruins, and we'll learn more about him in a few days. After Gedaliah comes in, a lot of the remnant of people that had been scattered start to come back to the cities and actually have a good harvest. All the vineyards produce. They bring in abundance. Even in all the ruins, God is still providing for his Now let's look at Psalm 74 and 79. These are both psalms lamenting the utter destruction of Jerusalem and its temple. Psalm 74:7 talks about how the sanctuary has been set on fire and the dwelling place of the name of God has been profaned. Psalm 79 echoes the same pain. There's a deep question about how long will God's anger burn against them? How long will the fire of his jealousy burn against them? But there's this remnant called the sheep of your pasture. These are clearly people who have not rebelled against God, who have not worshipped idols. They still feel the destruction and the punishment, but they mark God's past goodness and compassion with their hope for his future restoration. The sheep of his pasture know that he is a just God, but that he is a God of promise and of restoration. This reminds me back when Solomon dedicates the temple in 2 Chronicles. He prays and then God responds and basically issues the proclamation that if Israel will serve him, they will live under his blessing and favor. And if they choose to follow idols, he will punish them. He will send them under nations who will oppress them, and he will utterly destroy them. God has not changed. The terms of the agreement have not changed. He's true to his word. But even though he's a God of justice, he's also a God of restoration. And he promises, even through Jeremiah, that there will be a remnant that he will bring back, that he will give their land back, and he will be their God, and they will be his people. So let's wrap this up. I came away with 3 things. There is nothing too big or too small for God. Whether you live in a palace or you're stuck in a pit, he sees you. He knows where you are. He has a plan for you, and he will make it come about. Number 2, God is sovereign. He has his hand on every nation, on every person, and ultimately his goal is for his glory, whether it is through you, using you, or in spite of you. I like how in Jeremiah chapter 40, the general of Nebuchadnezzar's army testifies truth to Jeremiah as they're leading the captives away to Babylon. He says in verses 2 and 3, "The Lord your God pronounced this disaster against this place. The Lord has brought it about and has done as he said." That is a pagan testifying to God's sovereignty. Number 3, God allows us to choose. Even though he's sovereign, he allows us free choice. Joshua 24:15 says, "Choose you this day who you will serve." May God help us choose wisely.